How many students today? Weird. Right?
Okay, beautiful. Welcome to your breathing room practice. I did leave, just so everybody in the room knows, we have waiting for one more person. I know parking can be tricky, so I just left the door open, so it's possible, right? One more person's gonna walk in the room. We have some stuff coming up on the radar for this month. So 2 things to note. This month starts the Breathing Room 200-hour teacher training intensive, the summer intensive. It's approximately 3 weekends and then one 10-day period where you earn your 200-hour teacher training. I really enjoyed it when I did it. Right. I did the 200-hour teacher training here and loved it. So I cannot recommend it more highly than anything else. I just loved it. In addition to that, this coming Sunday, we have our second Judith Hanson Lassiter workshop series coming up. So it'll be this Sunday and then the following Tuesday from 7 to 9 p.m. And Judith is going to be working on the energetics of asana and twisting and how that feels in the body. And then as just a little like fun perk for myself, I'm going to be assisting her. Right. So I'm going to keep a little model on screen that she's kind of directing and moving me around. So that'll be really fun. I recommend checking that in if you get a chance. For today's practice, I have recommended that the people in class grab a strap. So if you're at home, having your strap handy, and if you do not have a strap at home, a dish towel or a pillowcase is going to be a really great option. Right. So that being said, if you're I saw somebody else pop on, if you're just logging in, we're going to be using a strap in today's class. Right, you can be in a reclined position on your mat or sitting up tall. No, there's no wrong way here, but we're going to start off with a little seated meditation. Right. So wherever you're choosing to be, right, start to close the eyes. Let the brain be external at first. So notice what you're hearing in the space around you. Notice what you may be hearing just outside of that space. Right, and then let the things you're hearing pass, like a cloud drifting by in the sky. Delve a little deeper and find your breathing, find your breath. Notice that natural ingoing and natural outgoing breath. Right, can we relax into the ease of the breath? Sometimes when I find my breath, right, when I'm attempting to meditate, I feel like I'm rushing it. I'm becoming impatient. But soften the body. Relax into the breath and allow it to breathe you, right? The breath takes very little effort on your part. It's doing it all on its own. Right, and what we're relaxing into is something else taking the wheel. Right, we don't have to tell the body to inhale, tell the body to exhale. Let's let the body just do what it's doing. No effort on our part, but to sit. Last 10 deep breaths here. As you come to the end of your breathing, right, just start to open the eyes. And we're going to stretch our fingertips up towards the sky, right? Nothing too nothing too formal, right? What feels good, stretch out your body. Right? Maybe you interlace the fingers, turn the palms up. Beautiful. Let's release the left hand down to the ground. Take a little lean into the left side body. Beautiful. This right arm is up overhead, right? Turn the thumb to point towards the right and then swing that hand behind the back. Little bind here. Right, just peeling the heart open. Turn the gaze to follow up towards that right shoulder. Beautiful. Release that arm back up overhead, right? And we're going to come up through center, switching sides, right? Little lean into that right side body. Right, and then we're going to release the left arm up overhead, point the thumb away from you, and then we'll sweep that arm behind the back. Right, send the gaze up over the left shoulder, really peeling the heart open. Beautiful. Release that arm back overhead and then let it help lift you. We're going to take a little forward fold here. Right, shake the head yes, shake the head no. Beautiful. Slowly walk the hands back in towards the legs. Excellent. We're going to reach for our strap here. So last week, if you joined me for class, I kind of snuck in, right? If you can really sneak in, bird of paradise, right? Remember that, Chris? I snuck that, kind of just like weaseled it right into class. So no pressure, but I'm actually going to spend the next couple weeks. We're going to continue to work that pose a little bit. Right. And so what I'm asking for as we work this pose is patience. And something that can happen easily in a yoga practice, right, is we just want to hit the fullest extent of our pose, no props needed, right? That can be a desire of the body. But what we're going to be doing today is I'm going to be encouraging the strap, right? And the idea is that even if we can bind, right, easily, right, maybe the strap will give us a little bit more space so we can explore the lifting up and out of the pose. So for this reason here, right, I'm going to take my strap in my left hand, right? I'm going to take the left arm behind the head here, and I'm going to use my right hand on the elbow and just gently draw the elbow in, right? And then press that elbow into the hand, right? Draw it in and then press that elbow into the hand. Beautiful. Releasing the right arm, I'm going to extend it out, turn the thumb down, and we're going to sweep the hand behind the back, reaching towards the strap. Right? And can we be a little bit playful here, right? If I lengthen that left arm up, it gently pulls my right hand up more into in between the shoulder blades, right? And then if I pull that right arm down, it gently draws that left hand closer to the shoulder blades. So kind of playing here a little to and fro. right? And regardless of where you're at, shoulders are dropping down and away from the ears, in between the shoulder blades feels relaxed. Beautiful. I'm going to gently release, right? Shake out the arms a little bit. And then I'm going to send that right arm behind the head, right? Using the left hand to draw the right elbow in. And then resisting, right? The hand, draw it in and resist. Beautiful. Releasing that left arm. I'm going to turn the thumb down, the hand behind the back, reaching up. And hug of this right hand on the strap to draw the left hand a little further up in between the shoulder blades. Right, and then I switch, right? I bend deeply out that right elbow. Right, so kind of playfulness. Beautiful, releasing the strap. Shake up the hands a little bit. We're going to extend the arms out to the side, right? And just a little rotation in the shoulder girdle there, right? Turning the palms up towards the sky one way and then the other. Beautiful. Next time you turn the thumbs down, we're going to sweep both hands behind the back, reaching towards opposite elbows, right? Or send those hands up towards the shoulder blades for reverse namaste, or reverse Anjali Mudra. Right, to the best of our ability, and then a little playfulness here. What does it feel like to drop the Anjali Mudra low? Little wrist stretch there, right? And then can we work it back up high? Right, this idea that we are bind, but there's also movement within the bind itself, right? Even if it's little. Right, and then just slowly melt the arms. Right, let them rest next to the body. Beautiful. One more in breath. And the out breath, we're going to start to work our way towards tabletop. Right, we're going to find some cat and cows. We're going to work some sun salutations. And then we're going to have the opportunity to bring our bind into lots of different aspects of the practice. Right, and so what I'm asking for today, next inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Right, exhale pushes the ground away. Right, so find your cat and cow. Right, but what I'm asking for in this practice, right, especially if we're somebody who does deal with some shoulder injury, listening to the body, right, and knowing when you need a break. Connect to the breath as you're breathing it. Feel the movement. Maybe soften the eyes closed. Beautiful. Let your next cat be the last. Right, find neutral tabletop. Inhale, sweeps the right leg back behind us. Exhale, knee towards nose. Inhale, stretch it back. Exhale, knee towards nose. One more. Inhale, stretch it back. This time on the exhale, we're going to step that foot up in between the hands. Right, help it. Find your low lunge. Right, sweep the arms up towards the sky. Really grounding down through that top of the back left foot here, right? This is going to help keep us stable. Nice big inhale here. Exhale, send the hips back, lengthen the leg, runner's stretch or baby pyramid. What I'm doing is I'm keeping my foot down here. I really want to target this kind of hamstring muscle here, right? Inhale, deep bend of the knee, sweep the arms high, right? Grounding in that top left back of the foot. Exhale, baby pyramid, right? I'm keeping the foot grounded. Shake out the head, right? Give a little wiggle of the hips here. Right, we're going to do 3 more breaths, right? Inhale, deep lunge, sweeps the arms. Exhale, fold. Inhale, deep lunge. Exhale, fold. Last one here, inhale, deep lunge. Exhale, fold. Right, this time let the toes lift. Right, how does that change it? Bring them back down. Right, let the toes lift. And bring them back down. Excellent. This time, right hand is coming to the inside of the leg, and I'm going to heel toe, right, my heel off the mat a little wider. Right? Stretch the arms out, take a fold long down your mat. Leg is kind of off the side of the mat here, a little bit of an open hip. Right? And we would want the foot, right? Foot can be pointing up, foot can be slightly dropping outward and away from you. Let's stay away from dropping in towards the center, right? So anything that feels good for you here. Beautiful. Deep bend of the knee, hands are still on the ground. Let's find a very wide dragon here. Excellent. And we're going to send the hips back, right? Let those toes lift. Beautiful. Come back in, wide dragon. Excellent. One more lengthening here. Beautiful. Ground down into those hands, right? I'm going to engage my core. I'm going to float the heel half inch. Ooh, and sweep the leg back across the mat. It's coming off the left side. Ground that right ball of the foot, right? I'm going to seal the right hand down and I'm going to float the left fingertips up towards the sky. Little twist. Right? Turning that left thumb to point behind you. Sweep the hand behind the back as if we're reaching towards that right hip crease. Right? Feel the shoulder blades moving down the back. Right? Top left foot is grounding to help keep you stable. One more big inhale here. One more exhale. Release the bind. Hand comes down. Beautiful. I'm going to float the leg. Right? One knee to nose. And then right knee comes back to meet the left. Little wiggle of the hips, right? Maybe there's one cat and cow. And we're going to take the other side. Inhale, left leg sweeps back behind us. Exhale, knee towards nose. Inhale, left leg sweeps back. Exhale, knee towards nose. One more here. Inhale, left leg sweeps back. Exhale, step that foot up in between the hands. Right? Find your low lunge, grounding through that top right back foot. Right? Sweep the arms. Exhale, baby pyramid. Let the foot stay down. Right? Little wiggle of the hips here. Beautiful. Inhale, deep bend of the knee. Sweep the arms high. Exhale. Weight of the hips goes back, baby pyramid. Inhale, deep bend of the knee, sweep the arms high. Exhale. Right, one more here. Beautiful. Hold your fold. Right now, let's lift the ball of the foot. Right? How does this change the stretch? Just noticing. Right? Maybe we play with bringing it down, lifting it up. Excellent. We're going to move that left hand on the inside of the leg. I'm going to heel toe my foot off the side of the mat, right? So wider stance here. This time, ball of the foot can stay lifted, and I'm going to stretch my hands long down my mat for a little fold. Any amount of bend in that knee, totally fine. Beautiful. Hands are going to stay grounded. Nice big inhale starts to bend into the knee. Seal that left foot. Find a nice wide dragon here. Right, and your next exhale, lengthen the legs back. Right, find your stretch. Beautiful, bend into that knee, find your dragon. And then we lengthen the legs, send the hips back. Beautiful, one more dragon here. Excellent, one more wide runner's stretch. I'm going to walk the hands back in under the shoulders, pull the belly button in towards the spine and float the heel half inch. I'm going to sweep the leg all the way back off that right side of the mat. Plant the ball of the foot, ground down into the top of the right foot, left hand seals, and I float the right arm. Right, turn the thumb to point behind you, sweep the hand behind the back, reaching towards that left hip crease. Beautiful, releasing that hand. We're going to release the left leg, lift it up, one knee to nose. And then left knee meets the right, little wiggle of the hips. Right, one cat and cow. Beautiful, walk the hands a little further out than the shoulders, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Right, start to walk out the heels. Stretching into those calf muscles. Letting the shoulders really open up here. Letting the heart sink and reach towards the knees. Beautiful. Inhale, roll forward into your plank. Make sure your hands and feet are a nice distance apart. Knees, chest, chin on the exhale. Inhale, slide through, lifting up for cobra. And then we'll move through tabletop, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Right leg high to the sky on the inhale. Exhale, step the right and then the left up in between the hands. Find your fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend the knees, sweep the arms up towards the sky, reaching tall. Exhale, hands find heart center. Inhale, stretching those hands up towards the sky. And on the exhale, we swan dive back down. Find your fold. We're going to hold the fold here. Bend and lengthen in the legs. Right, let's heel toe the feet a little wider here. And when I say wider, we're going to have the toes be slightly wider than the heels, right? My toes are touching that outer corner of the mat, heels are in a little bit more. Wiggle the hips, sway the hips here. Let the heart sink. Find a rag doll with this wide stance. Right, and can we feel how that works into the stretch in the backs of the legs as we sway from side to side? Beautiful, releasing the hands back down. I'm going to heel toe my feet back towards hip distance. Little halfway lift here on the in breath. Exhale, fold. Stepping back with the left and then the right, meeting in down dog. Roll forward to plank on the inhale. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Right, up dog or cobra. And we'll lift the hips back, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, stepping up with the left and then the right, find your fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rising all the way up, reaching up towards the sky. Exhale, heart center. Inhale, rising tall. Exhale, find your fold. We're going to hold here. I'll shake out the head. Bend and lengthen the legs. And then once again, I'm going to heel toe those feet a little wider. Right, little bend into one knee, a little bend into the other knee. Let the head hang. Right, another ragdoll. Right, and this time I just personally explored. I went even a little wider, right? Almost one more step wider than last time. Beautiful. Release the hands back down. Heel toeing my feet back in. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Stepping back with the right and the left, in down dog. We roll forward to plank on our inhale. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Up dog or cobra. And I lift those hips back up, downward facing dog. Right leg high to the sky on the inhale. Exhale, step that foot up in between the hands. We're going to seal that back heel down. Give me a warrior two. Right? Sink in nice and deep here. Little playfulness, right? We're going to flip the palm, peaceful. And then a cartwheeled side angle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sweep this right arm past the right leg as if I'm reaching towards the back foot. Right? And when I do this, the side waist almost rests on the thigh. Right? Come back up, peaceful. Let the leg lengthen for a little break here. And then on the exhale, side angle where the right hand reaches towards that foot and the weight of the torso is resting on the leg. Beautiful. One more. Inhale, peaceful, lengthens the leg. Right? Exhale, side angle. Right? Reaching towards the back foot. From here, we're going to take a bind. So I'm going to send this hand reaching towards the back foot. Right. Position it towards the back of the mat. So I'm reaching under the leg. Left arm releases behind the back, and then I bend into that right elbow, right? And this is where our strap can come in handy, right? We hold it in that left arm and reach towards the strap with the right hand, right? Peel the heart open. One more big in-breath here. Beautiful. Out-breath, release. I'm going to take my right hand down to the ground, left hand down to the ground, lift the back heel, peel the right fingertips up towards the sky, little twist. Beautiful. Right hand comes down to frame the foot. I step back, downward facing dog. Vinyasa here. Excellent. Left leg high to the sky on the inhale. Exhale, step that foot up in between the hands, find warrior two. All right, seal that back heel down. We rise up. Beautiful. We're going to be kind of cartwheeling between peaceful, right? First peaceful has a bent knee, right? And then we cartwheel that left arm. So it's going to sweep out and past and then reaching towards the back foot. Right? Side waist is resting on the thigh. Beautiful. Coming up, straight leg peaceful time. Give the knee a little break. And as we exhale, cartwheel. Right? One more here. Beautiful. We're going for that cartwheel. Right? If you used the strap, right? Maybe you grab that Take it behind the back, right arm behind the back, reaching towards left hip crease. And then that left hand that's reaching towards the back foot, we just switch it, right? Reach under the body, behind you, little bend of the elbow. Feel the heart open. Beautiful, yes. Release, right? We're going to take that right hand down to the inside of the foot. Lift the back heel, left fingertips peel up towards the sky, little twist. Beautiful. Left hand comes down to frame the foot. We step back, downward facing dog. Vinyasa here. Beautiful. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, we're going to hop our way up towards the top of the mat. Find your fold. Beautiful. I'm going to heel toe my right foot, right? Heel toe it out towards the outer edge of the mat, right? My toes are reaching the outer edge of the mat. Heel is in. Peace fingers are going to find, right, that right big toe. Left hand finds the left hip, right? Bend into the left knee. Left knee is going to be the standing leg. Draw the belly button in, and can we start to float right up? Really challenging here. Beautiful. Find your tree, right? Bend into the right knee. Let the sole of the foot come towards the inner thigh or the calf muscle, right? Let yourself stand up a little taller. Right now that we're not holding that leg, right? Grow your branches. If you'd like a reverse namaste here, right? Sweep the hands behind the back, reach towards opposite elbows, right? And if we do take our reverse namaste, really challenging that standing leg, right? Don't let the toes grip the mat, right? Can there be some playfulness here, right? Move the hands up, move the hands down. Beautiful. Little release here. I'm going to release the arms and legs, melt into one little standing split just for length, and then find your fold. Inhale, halfway lift. On the exhale, the option to hop or tiptoe your way back. So you can hop right into chaturanga, right? Or find your way back to down dog, and we'll take another vinyasa flow. Beautiful. Meeting in downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, we hop our way up towards the top of the mat. Find your fold, right? Shake out the head, right? Left foot. I'm going to heel toe it out wider so the toes are reaching towards that outer edge of the mat. Peace fingers of the left hand. Let them wrap the big toe. Standing leg is our right leg. Deep bend in the standing leg. Right? Draw the belly button in towards the spine, right hand to hip, right? And can we start to float, right? Beautiful. Bend into the left leg. Let the foot come towards the inner thigh, right? Let tree feel really restful in comparison. Right? Maybe we can stand up a little taller and grow our branches. Right? Maybe you want that reverse namaste. Excellent. So when we release, we're going for one little standing split. So we're slow and controlled with it. Right? Shoot that leg back, let the body seesaw, upper body lowers, stretch out through the foot. And then we find our fold, right? Shake out the head. When you're ready, right? Option to hop your way back to chaturanga or tiptoe your way to downward facing dog. We've got a vinyasa flow here. Five breaths, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Walk your hands back towards your feet. Find your fold. Right. Slowly start to work your way up. Right. We'll reach nice and tall. Urdhva Hastasana. Right. Let the hands come to heart center. Beautiful. Right. And then this is a moment. Sometimes when we're doing something hard in practice, you just kind of release. Right. A little less flowy than my usual class, but I truly believe sometimes you need to spend a little time in the challenge of the pose, right? So you can feel it in your body. So I'm going to just demonstrate really quickly what we're going to be doing. And this is, I actually find for a few poses I reference this, but when we're working bird of paradise, one of the most crucial aspects, just like standing split, is the pressing down in the standing leg, right? That's what helps to float us. And I will regularly reference Michael Jordan, right? Because he famously will talk about that he doesn't jump high, right? To get that height, he is putting everything into the planted foot, right? It's the pressing that floats him. And so I think about that. Not that I'm very good at sports, but I think about that a lot, especially paradise and standing split. So as we move into this pose, right, it's going to be a little less impromptu, but I just want to show you what we're doing once so you have an idea. There's lots of ways to get into this pose. This is just my personal favorite, right? So we're going to find, right, our extended side angle with bind. Right? And in the bind, reaching a bind is one thing, but if you cannot peel the chest open, maybe we practice with a strap, right? So what's going to happen, right? This is my standing leg, my left leg here, right? But I'm going to switch standing legs. I want the right leg to be standing. So I'm going to hop my foot in. Notice the toes are still turned out, right? I have my left toes forward, right toes are off to the side. This is open hip, right? And then this is the press. I'm going to become light in the left heel, right? And then I'm pressing down, right? You got to practice, right? So it's that pressing down to float the leg, right? And then that's as much as I got, right? And that's okay, right? We release slow and controlled. That's what we're going for. And in between each one, right? Shake out the body a little bit. Beautiful. So why don't we start with, right? For me, left leg is my strongest leg. So I always encourage that first. So if you are right leg dominant, I suspect most of you are, I'm going to suggest starting in a right side angle, right? So widen the stance of the legs, right? Deep bend in that right knee. Let's find our side angle. And if you're using the strap, right, this can be really helpful in picking up that leg to start, right? So find right side angle, right? And then we're going to find our bind, right? So I'm going to sweep those right fingertips towards the back foot, right? Transition the point of the fingers towards the back side of the mat, little bend of the elbow, right? Find the bind. We want to be able to peel the heart open. Beautiful. Now we're going to step that back left foot up the mat 3/4 of the way. So a little bend in the back knee, right? And hop it up. Toes are still pointing off the left side of the mat. Now this becomes our standing leg. So transition the weight of the body into that left leg and let the right heel be light. Let it lift. Now, really think I'm pressing down into that left standing foot, right? Try to float the leg really nice, guys. And when you feel, yes, press through the heel. Gorgeous. Hold for one more breath here. Be molasses, right? Find your fold, right? Work your way up. And then it's the reward to the body when we do something challenging to let it kind of move organically, right? If there's any little kind of like kinks or wrinkles, right? I like to shake it out a little bit. Right now, we have the time today that if you wanted to try that side again right off the bat, right? Or you could do left side and then right side, left side again. So we're going to do 2 on each side. I like to go back and forth, left, right, left, right. It feels even in my body, right? So I'm going to start to find my stance with the left leg leading, right? So left leg, toes are pointing forward, right? I'm going to find that extended side angle, right? I'm letting my strap come behind the back, right? I'm sweeping that left hand towards the right foot and then switching its position for the bind, right? Peel the heart open. And from this open heart, right, we're going to draw that back right leg in. So deep end of the right leg and hop it halfway up. Right now we start to lift the left heel, weight of the body is in the right leg, and think pressing down, right? Down into the heel to float. Right? Find a place of steadiness. And then if you're feeling balanced, think press out through that left heel. Right? Shoulders are relaxing down and away from the ears. One more big in breath here. One more out breath, slowly bend into the leg. I'm just going to slowly release my strap. 2, the goal, right, is slow movement. We don't want to be slingshotting the body. We're trying to be slow and controlled so we can build that muscle memory. Right? Shake the head yes, shake the head no. Excellent. So we've got two more. If your shoulder enough, right? I know some of you on Zoom have worked with shoulder injury in the past, right? Maybe 2 bird of paradise is enough, right? For any given day. Maybe it's enough. But if you'd like to join for a second round, right leg forward, right? Find that extended side angle. Right? We go for the bind. Peel the heart open. Right? We're going to step that back foot in. Lift the front right heel, standing leg, right? And then press down into that left heel to float the leg. Right? One more big in breath. One more out breath. Right? Find your way back down, unravel the body. Right? Let it hang. Shake that head, yes, shake it no. Right? Slowly roll your way up, vertebrae by vertebrae. Right? Loosen up. Beautiful. We've got one more. And then we're going to make our way down to an optional bound fold. We're nice and warmed up for binds, right? So I'm going to offer us a genou, but I'm also going to offer us a bound version if we want more, right? So finding, last one here, last bird of paradise, right? Find that extended side angle on the left, right? Find the bind, peel the heart open. We hop that right back foot forward, light in the left heel, and then we press down into the to float the leg. Right? In control, right? Release the grip of the hands, find your fold. Little ragdoll. Beautiful. Slowly roll yourself up, vertebrae by vertebrae. Right? Shake out the arms. Wiggle the hips. Beautiful. It's amazing. We only did half the vinyasas, but I'm sweating more than usual. So it just shows work, right? Twisting and holding and balancing, much work that's really doing. We're going to make our way down onto our seat. So people in the room, if they've had enough binding, right, we're going to be taking genou, just like our tree. So foot comes towards the inner thigh. We're going to be folding here. However, if you want to keep binding with me, right, rather wide, we're going to draw the knee towards the armpit chest, right? There's a big difference here, right? Towards the chest, no room for my belly, no room for folding, right? Wider, armpit chest, right? So from here, right, we're going to fold towards the leg. Nice big inhale, reaches tall. Exhale, right? So I'm folding past my bent knee. Right, and it's from here, I can sweep that right arm, right, back and around. And as I do that, the top of the hand turns down towards the floor. And this is where that bend of the elbow comes in, right? Sweep that left arm behind the back, right? And see if the hands can find one another. Think heart reaching towards extended toes of the left leg. Right, and then that right foot, I know it's tense, melt the toes. 5 more breaths. Beautiful. If you're bound with me, melt the fingertips, find your fold. Okay, and then drop that right knee out wide. Let genou come into place. The right sits bone's going to ground. 2 more breaths here, and then we'll all rise up. Beautiful. Draw the belly button in. Use the hands under the face to help lift you. Right? Can the back do the work? Yes, it can. Right? We're just being helpful. Excellent. I'm going to help the leg. Draw the knee in, stretch it out wide. Take the hands behind you. Windshield wiper the feet a little bit. Beautiful. Come up to sit tall. We're going to take that on the other side. So again, we have genou as option 1, right? Or knee comes to armpit chest out wide. Think we want space for the belly to breathe, right? Lots of room here. Right, nice big inhale, stretches up nice and tall. On the exhale, think heart reaching towards the toes. Beautiful. I'm going to extend that left arm out into a T, turn the top of the hand down, right? And this is the sweep. When the tricep touches the leg, then we bend the elbow, right? We release the right hand back. Right? Heart reaching towards right toes. Left toes are tense. Wiggle them. 5 more breaths here. Shoulders are moving down the back. Beautiful. If you're in the bind, slowly melt your fingers. And when the hands release, we're going to drop the left knee out wide. Let the sole of the foot come to the inner thigh. Genou, right? We have 2 more breaths here. Beautiful. Draw the belly button in, hands under the face. Help yourself up. Beautiful. Left knee draws in. Extend the legs out long. Right, little wiggle here. Beautiful. I'm going to slide the hips towards my ankles, make my way down. You run out of time sometimes when you do these bigger poses. So what we're going to do is we're going to take Shavasana now, and we'll come out of Shavasana with some deep windshield wipering of the knees to get that twist in. So let's find Shavasana and imagine we're taking this opportunity, right? All of that hard work, the hips we're doing, the extension through the backs of the hamstrings and the shoulders, right? Let's just let everything melt. Say it's time for your break, time for your rest, gratitude for what the body could do. Soften the jaw. Bring your awareness to the palms of the hands. Right, find your hands. And then let some little movement come in with the fingers. Awareness to the soles of your feet. Find your feet. Right, and then little movement with the toes. Now we're going to take the feet wide. So I'm going to bend one knee, plant the foot wide, right? And then the other. Right. Depending on the length of your body, I'm literally taking my feet off the sides of the mat. Right? Let the low back come to touch the floor. Right? So pelvic bowl is turning, tilting up towards the sky. Nice big inhale here. On the exhale, drop both knees towards the right. Right? So we've got an external rotation of the right leg, deep internal rotation of the left. So we're opening up that left quadricep, left hip flexor, reaching and wrapping around space through that left side waist. Deep breath into that space. Another deep breath there. Beautiful. Inhale takes the knees up through center. Exhale, drop them to the left. Right, deep breathing into that right side waist. Beautiful. Take the knees up through center. We're going to roll over onto the right side towards our seat. Right, hand over heart. Right, I'm bringing in so much gratitude for what each of our bodies could do today. Right, and then gratitude for everyone who shared this space, whether it be in the room or on Zoom. I hope this practice sends you on a wonderful path for the rest of your week. We'll take our thumb knuckles to third eye. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody on Zoom. Friendly reminder that the morning meditations Monday through Friday have moved to 7:30 a.m. So if you're somebody who frequents that practice, this week they started a half an hour earlier, right? If you have not done morning meditation, I recommend checking that out when you get a chance. Thanks for joining, Peter. Thank you so much for joining.